What's going on, people? It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks. I've been having a lot of stuff going on here lately. Um, Figured I'd give you guys an update on the life of Nicky P as we know it. Currently, right now, um, let's see. Well, I haven't seen my older son, I'd say, in about 4 months because his mother still won't let me see him after everything that's been going on with me. She won't let me see him until I take her to court. So there's that. Second, my ex-wife currently, who I am trying to get a divorce from. After the last day she came over to get the rest of her stuff, which, cops had to be called and were involved in everything. I believe I lit the update that her sister ended up telling me that she was trying to skip state and go to Ohio. So, that being said, currently she moved to Ohio about 2 weeks ago. She took my kids. She took Bryden and Thena up to Ohio with a ex-boyfriend of hers that she used to be with before. So I haven't seen my two youngest in, I'd say, about 2 going on 3 weeks now. I've already paid the lawyer to do the dissolution, but they're doing what they can. She went to Ohio, and technically, in the state of Kentucky, that is considered illegal. That's a felony. That is actually called parental kidnapping. So, with that being said, I guess we're going to do what we can to see what's going on with that with the lawyer, and just take it one day at a time. Currently, at the moment, I don't see my kids at all. I do not get to talk to my kids. It's starting to really mess with me mentally and physically in a way, because when you've always been a father and you've always been there for your kids, and the people who you're used to taking care of, when other people are trying to stop you from seeing them, seems to try to do everything in their power to take what brings you joy in life away from you. So with that being said, like I said, I'm trying to go through with the divorce. I'm going to get my son back. I just have to be patient. It's very hard to do so, but I'm doing everything I can. Just one day at a time. Just basically go to work, come home, and that's about it. That's all I've been doing. Also, currently, I believe I brought up before that we had sold the house, so we're currently in right now, me and my dad. We have to get out on the 20th, so we're in the process of trying to find a place to live, moving, which is also just lovely, along with Dad's little liver cancer stuff going on. But, we're doing what we can. I haven't been informed that any state of form way of how my kids are doing. I have no idea. I haven't even talked to my kids. Like I said, my oldest son, I haven't talked to him in months because of lies that were spewed from my ex-wife and saying that I abuse my children, which I never have. So I'm being penalized as much as my son's being penalized from seeing the person who, has always been there from day one, has been a father, always been there for him, always took care of him when I need to take care of him, and I still do. And I can't wait till the day that all this shit gets situated because, currently I'm doing everything I can. And my younger kids are being forced against their will to move away because their mother can't be civil. And understand that, just because stuff doesn't work out with people doesn't mean that you should punish your children. This is punishing to them because I've always been there for my kids. And my daughter, who, I call her my daughter, she's my daughter, regardless of what anybody says. she's getting to that age, and so is my son, my younger son, that they can actually start to express themselves and know when stuff's different and how stuff is, changed, and it affects them differently because they start to soak it in. And being 3 weeks, I think, since I haven't seen them or held them, hugged them, kissed them, anything, I don't think that's fair on them. I don't think that's fair on me. But like I said, I'm doing everything in my power to get them back. The money that I had from the house, I had to put towards keeping the electric on because the electric bill was way overdue. I'm not gonna, blame anybody. It was, and stuff happens. You gotta do what you gotta do when you lose your job. So then I had to use some of the money to pay for that to keep electric on for me and my dad. Then I had to pay the lawyer for the divorce and the dissolution because she was trying to skip state and take him away from me, which she did anyway. After the EPO was dropped, after everything was dropped, after everything was going on, and even with the situation at hand, I don't think that's the best route to go about it. Kids shouldn't be pulled away from the ones that they love, especially ones that care about them, especially when they try to make up fake lies about them and say they do this, they do that. I went through the court system. I'd done everything I was supposed to do. They found that there was no evidence, which there ain't none. Then she tries to skip state, and from what I was informed by her family, well, some of her family, that she was trying to get an EPO up there against me. But little does she know that's called double jeopardy. It doesn't work that way. And plus you have to be a resident of a certain state to move. But anyway, I haven't seen my kids, haven't heard nothing from them. I paid my lawyer to get everything situated, and they went to go serve her papers because I just went and talked to the lawyer the other day, and he wasn't there. I talked to the secretary. Well, the secretary lets me know that they went to serve her papers, and she wasn't there, obviously, because I told them way ahead of time she's trying to skip state. The lawyer even said that's illegal. Everybody I've talked to says, that's illegal. They can't do that. And, she's going to, in the end, it's going to come back and bite her in the ass. That's her, she'll find out when shit happens and shit hits the fan, what she loses and what she doesn't. And, I'm just trying to keep it cool, everything I can. But, my kids are, I'm worried about my children, and especially the fact that, the money I put towards for her, I didn't get to put any money for the joint custody for DeMarcus, because I know I would get it for DeMarcus because I've always been there for him. I've always taken care of him. There's never been anything except for this one time that something came up and she tried to lie and told her and she believed her. So now I got to raise an additional $2,000 to try to figure out how the hell I'm supposed to see my son, because I tried legal aid and they said they couldn't represent me, probably because my ex-wife lied to him and said something about me being abusive, whatever, which is discriminating against me because it's not true. So that's also a factor. But she's still on about the fact that I'm abusive to my kids. I don't know what world she's living in. I've never touched my kids. I've never hurt my kids. I never hurt her. I've never hurt anyone. But I'm being punished for something that someone else who isn't in their right mind sees as the truth when it isn't. To the point that even family members of hers know that this isn't right, and they just done with her bullshit, and that's how it is. There's nothing else you can really do. She's made her bed, she's got to lay in it, and she's gonna figure out real quick that you can't do what you want. It's not how that works. I'm not keeping your kids away from you. You shouldn't keep my kids away from me. And you're also jeopardizing my older son with my older son's mom, which isn't fair. But anyway, with all that going on, like I said, when I went and talked to the secretary, she told me that they went to serve her papers for the court. She wasn't in state. That's kind of obvious. I've already told them this. She skipped state the day that it happened, and I filed the next day. So she ended up leaving. And next thing I know, the secretary ends up telling me that she called them. Now, one thing that frustrates me out of all of this whole situation is that when I started working, I got a job. And when I started my first day working training, the cops ended up showing up to my job to serve me the papers for the EPO. That was a lie on my first day. So, my dad was here. They came here. They told my dad they cannot disclose any information about the serving because it's against me, not him. So there was nothing they could do. They had to give it to me, which I had nothing to hide. I knew what it was about. So I said, that's fine. Dad did exactly what he was supposed to do. Now, she's in Ohio. There's no way to serve her these papers because she's in Ohio. And her resident that I wrote down for my lawyer was her mom's house, which is up the road. So, how in the hell did she get the information on serving papers from the sheriff's department nonetheless, who knows the whole situation that's been going on this whole time? How does she know who to call on these papers if she's in another state 300 some miles away? So, that being said, I was a little confused, and I haven't talked to him yet, but I'm going to talk to my lawyer about it. So, the only way that I could figure is that the sheriff's department disclosed personal information on serving a paper to her mother, and her mother contacted her and told her who it was from, and she called my lawyer. She called directly to my lawyer. So, with that being said, Sheriff's Department's in the wrong for doing that because, like I said, my dad couldn't know any information on mine. She shouldn't know any information on hers. But they disclosed personal information that was meant just for her, who she's not here, to her mother so she could contact them. Next, when that happened, she called my lawyer. My lawyer's secretary told me she called and told them an address where she lives. One, it's an Ohio address, obviously. Two, they didn't seem any worried about it like I am because they took my kids out of state without my permission because you're not allowed to do that anywhere, especially with the dissolution going on. And then third, the fact that she even called them was a complete shock. But anyway, she called them and told them about the thing, and the secretary said, well, can we send you the papers to sign for the dissolution? She said, yeah. She gave me email address, gave them the address, and that was a while ago, probably about a week ago. She never signed any papers. She never sent anything back. And now the lawyer secretary is trying to tell me that I have to pay additional money to them after I'd done paid over $2,000 for this dissolution because I'm the only person paying for it and trying to do everything situated right because I know it's not going to work that way with her. I was told that I have to pay more money now to serve her in Ohio. It has to go through circuit clerk or something, sent to Ohio, sent to her. No, I call bullshit on that one. I don't think I should have to pay any more money than I have to because technically in the state of Kentucky, if you look it up, parental kidnapping is considered a felony offense to where you can do some serious fucking jail time and have, a bond of up to $10,000. And that's exactly what she's doing. It's a felony offense to the point that I could have the law enforcement go and get him and bring him back, and I'll basically get temporary custody until the court hearing about this because she did a felony offense. So, yeah, I don't know why my lawyer's not shooting for that because it already happened. She stole stuff. She's harassed me. She's done everything possible. And no matter what, it seems like it's always a shitty end of the stick that I'm getting, and she just does whatever, and I just have to deal with it. No, I don't think that's fair. I think it should be equal between man and woman. I don't think that's fair. One, because the EPO, I've already been served the EPO, and I went for an EPO twice, 2 different times, and I got denied both times, and I had evidence. They still denied me. No evidence of, they said no evidence of physical abuse or stalking or whatever, and I had it on my phone. But yet, when you put an EPO, they just type it in, and that's that. You have to write down what you write down. So with that being said, I got denied EPO twice, probably because I'm, a man. That's usually, I'm a big guy. They probably just act like whatever. But I'm trying to do everything the right way, and it seems like no matter how I do it, it's not making a difference. She's got the kids. My older son's mom's got my older son. I haven't seen him, so I have to do everything in my power to raise money to be able to do that for him. And in the process of that, also I have to wait and see what the hell's going on with my two youngest, because Thena's not biologically mine. So there's a possibility, and I've already come to terms with this, and I hate every inch of it, that I'm going to lose a daughter. So with my best interest of doing this, because I still have a son that is related to her, that's her half brother, she's still my daughter. I'm still going to call her my daughter. She's always going to be my daughter no matter what. But I'm going to allow the court and everything to know that I would still like to have rights to her, because I'm the only thing she knows as a father figure. I've raised her since she was 1 month old. She still calls me dad. I'm dad to her. And she's basically doing exactly what my ex-wife is doing, exactly what she's used to doing, because she's used to running. She's done it multiple times. She takes the kids, and now she's trying to do it again, and it hurt me. And it's just ridiculous, the point of the concept. And I don't think it's fair on the kids, and it just upsets me, because why do kids need to be punished because you are childish yourself? Only thing I get to see of my kids is pictures on my phone or on my wall, and that's not fair to me or anybody. And I'm doing everything in my power to get them back, but it's, seems like it's taking longer than I expected. So with that going on and trying to find a place to live and everything else, there's a lot on my plate right now. And I'm still worried about my kids. I'm always worried about my kids. Who knows who's watching them, what's going on. If they're actually getting all the, attention they need, they normally got from their dad, who always put them first no matter what or who. And you're trying to take that away from them, and that really affects kids to a different level. But other than that, just living life one day at a time. Wish I could see my kids. I'm always worried about them. That seems to take a toll on somebody when your main focus is your kids, and you can't even know how they're doing, if they're with someone who actually cares, or if they're around people that actually give a shit. Because it's very hard when you're the only person that no matter what you did, you always put them first, and I did. And it just, I don't know what else to do. I'm just taking one day at a time. But I figured I'd make a video, let y'all know, update on me, and what's going on in my life. Just taking one step at a time, like I said. I ain't made a video in a while, so I figured let you guys know how things are going. Hopefully we can move here soon and find a place, and then everything will be settled, and I'll make some more videos, content, and hopefully everything goes well. It's just like it's like they ripped out half of my heart, basically, and it just makes it harder to function. Like, days are longer, it makes it seem like it's no point having a job, no point doing this, no point doing that, because the people that you had, the reason you have a job, are not here. You can't take care of them. You can't buy them a toy that they want. You can't get them clothes to this and that, take them to the movies, take them here, because someone just is so selfish to keep all that love and affection that you have from them, because that's what they need. And you're just hurting them. That's all you're doing. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I know it's kind of dragging on a little bit, but I'll let you know I'm still alive, and Dad's still alive, and we're still kicking. We're just trying to take it one day at a time. But I'll hit you all up later. Have a good morning, afternoon, night, evening, everything. Just keep living life to the fullest, and do everything you can to be a good person. That's all for me. As always, love, peace, chicken grease to you all, and y'all have a good one until we meet again. Later.